Good day, comic fam. It's Comics of the Voice, and this is episode 3 of the G.I. Joe series. Stay tuned for the next batch. Hello everybody, and welcome to more G.I. Joe. I am the voice, and this is a series that I started doing, going through my collection of 155 G.I. Joes from the original series back in '82, and we're going to carry on from issue 21 to 30. Now there's quite a few keys in here. I think there's only 2 books that aren't keys, but one of them has a weird little significance, even though it's not a key, but it's got some stuff to it. So let's dig in. So everybody knows this one here. It is a very popular book. It is a key because it's a silent issue. It's the first appearance of Storm Shadow. It's an ally of Snake Eyes, of course, because, you know, they were both in the same clan. I'm going to butcher the name, but it's the Arashikage clan. It's Japanese, you know, I should know it, but I don't. It's also a solo story featuring Snake Eyes told without any text or dialogue. And the reason why there's no text or dialogue in this is because Larry Hama was under a time restraint putting this book out. So he knew that the only way to save a ton of time was to not have a letterer at all, so that he could get the book out quick. That's the only reason why it's silent. And from book to book, he had 0 plans. So he, even as he was writing each page and doing the artwork on the pages, he had no idea what the hell it was going to happen in the story. Until the very end, when you see that Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes both have the same tattoo on their arm, which is part of the I Ching, which is pretty cool. So this thing went through 3 printings. So there. I did have a second copy of this, but I sold it. They were both newsstands, so I'll be looking for a direct edition. This one's not. It's about a mid-grade copy, but it's still 21. Another big key. So this one is issue 22. Take this guy down. And 22 is a great one because Image just released the book. Or are they going to release it? Did they release it? Is it this week, next week? I don't know. Now I'm lost. Duke's coming out. And this is the first appearance of Duke. Also Roadblock as well. So 2 first appearances in this one. Of course, I got this guy in a newsstand and a direct edition. Great book. 23, not a key. But I got a few copies. You know, got a couple of newsstands and a direct edition. This one, it's got a really cool cover on it, though. I like it's kind of like a painted cover. And this is where they catch Cobra Commander. So Duke and Roadblock are working right away. So I guess you could say this is the first cover appearance of the characters, Duke and Roadblock. And they were credited with capturing Cobra Commander in this one. But of course, that doesn't last because, you know, he escapes in the very next issue. Because, you know, gotta have him get away. So this is a cameo of Zartan. It's also the first appearance of Firefly, Wild Weasel, and the first cover of Storm Shadow. Because we saw Storm Shadow in the 21, but we never saw him on the cover. So that's his first cover appearance. So a really cool key there. And I only have the direct edition and just the 1 copy of that one. I don't have a newsstand of this one. So that's one that I'll have to be working on to get a newsstand. So on to issue 25. So this is the first full appearance of Zartan, and he also is on the cover right there in full color. It's also the first appearance of Deep Six, Mutt, and Junkyard, and the first team appearance of the Dreadnoks. So Ripper, Torch, Buzzer, and Cutter. So that's a awesome one, and I only have the 2. So So I've got them in both in direct editions. So I'll put those two there. We got into some really fun issues. These ones I really enjoyed. So this is issue 26, is the origin of Snake Eyes. And it's also the first appearance of the Hard Master and the Soft Master. But the Hard Master, he's the head of the clan that Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow are from. So this one I've got two direct editions. I don't have any newsstand of this book, so that's one that I'm missing. Put both of those together. And then there was kind of a two-parter, so there was a two-parter to it. So this is the second part. This is the origin of Snake Eyes, and it's the first appearance of Timber, who is that is a wolf, and that's basically his pet or companion. So I got this one in a newsstand and a direct. So I need to get number 26 in a newsstand, which is on my list, right? I got my list going of what I need. This one I really enjoyed. It's not a key. However, it does have an interesting key significance if you're into the different artists. So you saw that I did a series, and if you didn't, you can go back and check it out. I did one on Mad. So I went through the first 50 issues of Mad, starting from a magazine or a comic book, and then went into a magazine format. So one of the artists on there was John Severin. And then he later left Mad and started his own magazine called Cracked. Well, John Severin has a sister, and his sister's name is Marie Severin, and she did the artwork in this book. It's the only G.I. Joe book she ever did artwork in, but she's cited in this book. She did the art in this one, so that's where the cool significance pops up in that one, and it's just a neat perspective. You know, the plane coming down, the Cobras, and he's, you know, going into the tank, and they look up and they're like, oh shit, we're going to get blowed up. Issue 29. This is the first appearance of the Crimson Guard. This one had 3 printings in this one. I've just got 2 direct editions of that one, so I need a newsstand of this guy eventually. And then we got on to issue 30, and we got the cover appearance of the Dreadnoks doing their crazy things, and the G.I. Joes were not happy about them slicing up all those beautiful planes and stuff. But it's the first appearance of the Hiss driver, although it's funny that the Hiss drivers were operating helicopters in this issue, not the tanks. And the Hiss, it stands for High Speed Sentry, which was pretty funny. So I got that one in a newsstand and a direct edition. So there, so that is issues number 21 to 30 in this series, going from 1 to 155. So the next installment will do 31 to 40, and so on and so forth and down the line. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Go Joe!